Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for the week of October 31st. We're just going to jump right in here, Capricorn, and we are going to see what is going on for you in your general energies in this first position here. This looks good. Next, we're going to see if there's anything unexpected coming in for you in this row here. This looks really good. Definitely, if you want love, or even if you just want friendship, or like a business partner or something could be coming in for you. I don't know that it's necessarily unexpected, but we'll see. Next, you have the, we're going to look at what's coming towards you here in this row, and then we're going to look in this last row at any advice from your future self for this time frame. And we're also going to pull 3 yes/no question cards at the end. But Capricorn, what's kind of weird is that I read this card right here. It says endings, beginnings, but I read it as like end of year blessings or something along those lines. So, you know, I feel for some of you, there could be some like end of year blessings coming in for you. Sometimes when I misread things, it's kind of like an intuitive message. This happens to me a lot, so that's why I'm saying it. But you start off here with this optimism card and this charity card. Love it. I kind of feel that you are in a very optimistic, giving kind of place. And because of that, I feel that people, places, and things want to give to you as well. So it looks to me like there's a lot of fulfillment and happiness coming in for you. I would also maintain your optimism because you have the 10 of Cups. The point of the 10 of Cups is that this family, they are choosing to be happy. You know, the 10 cups exist in this rainbow above them. And, you know, the true meaning of the 10 of cups is that they're kind of living in the real world. They still have to deal with all the real world challenges, problems, issues, but they're choosing happiness. And that is popping into my head as very important for you. You have the 3 of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the Judgment card. I'm pretty sure in your last reading, you had the Chariot. And I was saying something to you about how, you know, it's almost like you're creating your own... You know, it's like you're creating your own category. Those are the words that are popping into my head here, Capricorn. And, you know, it's kind of like, I feel this is in work or business, where it's like maybe you're changing things up so much that there is no competition. It's funny that you end with the 5 of Wands, right? But I feel like this is saying that maybe you're creating something where you're creating your own category, and that's what's making you successful. The reason I say this is because he's leaving this city behind him, and he's kind of maybe going somewhere where there's less competition, right? That's the whole point of the Chariot, is he's actually leaving the city because there's maybe too many people or too much competition. So he's kind of he's going on a journey to find his own place. And, you know, I'd say if you want to do that, I would definitely do it, because I feel there's a lot of success for you. It's funny that you have this wheel card as well, the one where I said end of year blessings. It says endings and beginnings on it, like I said earlier, but you know, it could be that you're ending something so that you can have a new beginning somewhere else, and I feel like it's going to be a victory for you. You have the 3 of Pentacles. A lot of stuff here about like teamwork, of course, Capricorn, right? Do I need to say it? Probably not, so I'm not going to, but you know, I feel anything you could do to work with other people would be very beneficial. I feel like if you're attracting love, by the way, this person could be like a unicorn. You have that unicorn card. So, and I feel like they see you as a unicorn as well. So it's like 2 people who see each other as very special, which is nice. This person, I feel, will truly value you. But other than that, I feel like you're very focused on work. 3 of Pentacles, to me, is a card of quality work. So even if you're retired, you could just be focusing on, you know, personal project or something. It's like you're focused on the quality. You have the Judgment card as well. I feel this is a sudden realization that you've had. I feel like you're understanding life, or you're understanding something about your life that is leading you to want to make a change. We go Judgment, 3 of Wands to the Death card in this diagonal. And the Death card is like a total transformation. But that Judgment card, those people are dead. They're kind of being risen out of coffins. And inside the coffin is their old life. Outside the coffin is their new life. I feel like this reading is asking you to move towards your new life, right? To move towards a new beginning. Yeah, with 3 of Pentacles, you have the Fool. Jumping right into something. You know, again, if you're getting into a relationship, I think you just kind of jump right in, and maybe it just kind of like happens, one of those types of things. For others, I do feel that some of you are kind of going off on your own here. Again, I would use your willpower. The Chariot is about asserting your will. It basically says where there's a will, there's a way. So it doesn't matter what you want to do. If you want to do it, you'll be successful. With the Chariot, you have the Magician. The Chariot driver kind of looks like the Magician. So I feel for a lot of you, you're just creating new beginnings and probably reinventing yourself in some way. This is like probably one of the bigger, and look, it's 11/11, by the way, here, Capricorn. Look at that. So I feel for some of you, this is saying that there's like a total reinvention, probably some sort of portal opening up for you as well, where you could be kind of, 11/11 stepping through a portal. You have the Judgment card, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Damn. This is like your destiny. Like the more cards I pull, the more intense the reading gets. Obviously, these are like all big major arcana cards and having to do with your destiny, fate, things like that. The Wheel of Fortune also is kind of a card of your willpower, because the wheel is always spinning, but we choose whether or not we control it. We control the wheel with our vibration. So make sure you're giving off good vibes here. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this Chalice card. It says rejuvenation and fulfillment. You also have this Unicorn card. It says good fortune and friendships. Love it. Again, Three of Pentacles. Teamwork makes a dream work. So I'd say anything you can do to work with other people is just going to lead to good fortunes. But there's clearly a big change in your fortunes with the Wheel of Fortune. And also everything else that's showing up here. I would take some time to heal yourself, to rejuvenate with that Chalice card. I do feel it is saying that, there might be, maybe you're feeling more tired than usual. Mars retrograde, right? Mars is going retrograde in like 6 days, or actually by the time you're watching this, probably 5 days, right? But Mars will be going retrograde soon. We might as well be in the retrograde. We're in the shadow, towards the end of the shadow too. So, what I would say here is rest, relax, recover. But I also feel I feel what's unexpected is for some of you, you could be attracting a person into your life, and I feel like it just works. Like, I feel like you have a very similar story in all your past relationships, and there's something new coming in for you, and maybe you're just not expecting it. You have the Ten of Cups, the Three of Wands, and the Knight of Swords. The Ten of Cups is like fortune after difficulty, but I really see this as you falling into something in a good way, like falling into a relationship that just works, where it just like happens all of a sudden. For others, I feel there's a lot of happiness coming in for you. With the Magician, the Chariot, the Wheel of Fortune, my focus would be happiness. Again, the trick with the Ten of Cups is that they still have to deal with all the problems and the issues of the world, but they're choosing to focus on happiness. They're choosing to focus on what they want, not what they don't want, as Esther Hicks says. So, I would focus exactly on what you want in life. You have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands, like, what are you waiting for? You have a lot of cards here that kind of say, move your ass. Kind of like I did that short the other day. You have the Fool twice, the Magician. I'm not, I'm against forcing things to happen, but I would definitely get moving on any ideas that you have. Even if it's a complete failure, I would, start building momentum. We are in Mars retrograde, so, it's like things that we start during Mars retrograde maybe take a little bit longer to get going. But what I see you doing here is, pulling the arrow back, right? So if you have been thinking oh, I need to get my business going, or maybe there's a part of your business that you need to get going, maybe you're I want to grow my social media presence or something like that. It's you might not see a lot of momentum now, but like I said, end of year blessings is what I was getting on that wheel card. It's you're pulling, the farther you can pull that arrow back, I think the faster and stronger and everything when you release it, that arrow is going to fly. So, that's kind of what I'm getting here. You have the Knight of Swords here as well. Knight of Swords could be unexpected communication coming in for you. I'm actually going to clarify this bottom up because I want to see what that Knight of Swords is talking about. Someone wants to marry you. So, again, I'm telling you right now, if you are meeting a person, could be an air sign, could also just be anyone, but I feel like this happens very, very quickly. I would tell you to be careful of that because, again, you don't want to get into some sort of weird situation where you're suddenly living with a person and then you find out you don't like them, right? So I wouldn't rush anything, but I don't know. I kind of get the feeling that if it works, it works at the same time. With the Three of Wands, you have the Six of Pentacles. Again, you have that Charity card. I think if you're stuck, I've been saying this pretty much, and it kind of is striking me that I feel this happens every single Mars retrograde. If you're feeling stuck, I would try to think what can I do that could benefit some other people, right? And I feel if you do that, then you're going to be getting the flow going, and then you're going to probably get unstuck. So, I find in my life, whenever I get stuck, it's usually because I'm way too focused on myself. So, in any area of my life, it doesn't matter. So, I would definitely say, that anything you can do to create abundance or joy or happiness for other people is just going to spill over to you. It's probably going to get you unstuck. With the Ten of Wands, you have the the Ten of Cups, you have the Five of Wands. Again, there is something about competition here, but I really feel like you're setting yourself apart from the competition. And so, again, that doesn't mean competition isn't going to show up in your reading, right? It's like the competition still exists. That could be the thing that's motivating you to set yourself apart from the competition, whatever you're doing. So, love it. Next, in the area of what's coming towards you, you have this change card, which we know, death, magician. Magician has a snake wrapped around his waist. The Ouroboros represents a change, transformation. So definitely a change. You also have this wheel, endings and beginnings. Like I was saying end of year blessings on this card. So I feel there could be some end of year blessings. We're basically there already, but I feel like you're pulling an arrow back. And, I would keep pulling. The farther you pull back, the better. And that's what I feel like this is talking about. There's clearly some sort of change. Both cards represent that. You also have the Death card in this row. So you have the Death card, the Strength card, and the Chariot. It's kind of funny because, and the Devil. It's kind of funny because I feel like you almost don't believe it. This is your card. I just feel like this is you. I don't think there's anything toxic or anything like that. Some of you could have been dealing with a person who breadcrumbed you in the past, but I feel like you're moving past that in general. But I really feel that, some of you, it's like you've been working towards something for a very long time. You finally get it. It's almost unbelievable. Not like in a clickbaity way, but just like, sometimes I think we work for something for so long we can't believe it when we actually get it. And that's what I feel is going on here. So if you've been working towards a goal, wish, or dream, if you have been very patient for a very long period of time, you're building up a lot of momentum that's going to carry you through. It kind of reminds me of like YouTube. There are a lot of people who ask like, why do I grow so slowly when other people grow so quickly? I'm like, well, you don't actually want to grow quickly because, as I say, easy come, easy go. I'm glad that it took me so long to grow quickly. People look at my channel and they're like, oh, you grew so fast. I'm like, no, not really. It took me 8, I've been doing this for 8 years. There are other people who like in a year had hundreds of thousands of subs, right? So, it didn't really happen quickly, but I'm glad because like if it did, I probably wouldn't have had to go through all the challenges to figure out how to do it in the first place. Then I wouldn't have learned those skills, right? So I feel for a lot of you, you've been learning a lot of skills. And I feel, again, it is popping into my head that I feel you've been seeing people around you like get the things that you desire faster. But again, I think what you need to realize is that you're in a much better position than they are because maybe they didn't have to learn everything that you learned. So when the shit hits the fan or something happens, it's like if YouTube makes a change, I'm perfectly fine. YouTube changes all the time. But guess what? I figure it out because of everything that I learned. Some other people don't. So, what I would say here is that I think that what you've gone through is, kind of making you who you are. And I also feel it's going to be beneficial. It's almost like you're this Death Rider. I feel like you are in control of change. I feel very powerful with this Death card. It's kind of weird. I've never seen it that way, but I almost feel like you are him. It's like you are changed now. I feel you've almost entered the Matrix. Like you are the one that controls the changes. You are the one that can handle it, right? And I don't know. I love this. It's almost like you've become one with change in your life. And maybe you become more comfortable with changes or whatever. Feels very powerful to me here, Capricorn. I love it. Let's see. With the Death card, you have the Queen of Swords, seeing things clearly at this time. You understand what change you have to make to get away from the competition. So again, I feel for a lot of you, it's kind of like you understand what you have to do to become a unicorn. It's like you understand what to do to stand out or to go somewhere where there is no competition. With the Strength card, you have the Hierophant. Definitely could be marriage coming in for you here. I would be careful of past people as well. It is popping into my head that, maybe someone sees you with a new person and they try to come in and mess up your day. So, I would protect yourself from that. With the Devil, you have the Judgment card. I would definitely be careful of someone coming back from the past. But again, I feel like you're waking up to your true purpose, which is embracing change and kind of rolling with the punches, which it looks like you are doing. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Inkpot card. It says problems to be resolved. You also have this funnel. It says period of frustration, lessons to be learned. I think this is the pulling back of the arrow, right? And again, I feel like it's talking about what you've been through. I feel like your future self is saying, don't forget about all the lessons that you have learned. You actually know more than maybe some competitors, like in business or in work. It could also be in love. Like maybe you've had a more difficult time in love, but maybe also what you don't realize is that you're about to find like true love. And because of what you've learned, you're going to be able to have like a really solid relationship. So definitely keep that in mind. But, You have the Five of Wands, the Fool, and the Six of Pentacles. You know, like I said, I feel like you've learned a lot. Five of Wands is my card of learning because these people, they're using sticks to fight. They're not using swords. So they're kind of like learning how to fight. They're learning how to survive battle. And that's what I feel like you've been doing here. It's like you've been learning how to deal with competition. But now it's time for you to go off on your own. You have the Fool twice here. Definitely time for a new beginning. I mean, you have the endings, beginnings, death card, judgment twice. You like, all this stuff. Chariot, magician. Magician is a new beginning as well. So pretty much all three earth signs have had something about a new beginning. So clearly it could be like an earth energy that you're all dealing with. And you have the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is charity. So again, you have that charity card. I feel that not only are you being generous, but I feel like people want to be generous to you. I feel like people want to help you along your way. I feel that your future self is encouraging you to find generous connections as well. We're talking about not just love, but every type of connection, friendship, business partners, all that other stuff. I feel like this is saying the time for you to receive is here. And that's kind of like what I'm getting from your future self. Let's see. With the Five of Wands, you have the Seven of Swords. Could be lying, cheating, stealing. Again, I feel, I would be careful, especially if you're getting with a new person of a past person. Maybe you want to block a past person or whatever, especially if you know that they were a liar, cheater, stealer, because they could be coming in to mess up your day here. But again, you see how he's walking away with these swords, and he's stealing them from an army in the background here. This is basically what we've been talking about the whole entire time. He's not going to war. He's going to war in a different way. He's using tactics. He is stealing the swords instead of facing the army head on. And this whole entire reading has basically been saying there's like somewhere else that you're going where it's going to be a much better place. With the Fool, you have the Seven of Cups. This is like the one thing that I feel could hold you back. I mean, I think this is true for everyone, that the Seven of Cups could be holding a lot of us back right now. Seven of Cups is like imagining things in our life going a certain direction. He's spoiled for choice, but he could be imagining kind of all the good things and all the bad things. Imagine you want to start a business. It's like he's imagining the good things and the bad things. Same thing with love. He's imagining the good things and the bad things. But until you actually experience it, you don't actually know how something is going to go in your life. And that's kind of like what this says. Is like until you actually experience something, you have no clue what direction you're going to be going in your life. And so I feel you need to pay attention to that. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the Tower. A lot of people have had the Tower this week again, so probably just more global Tower moments. It's crazy because Taurus actually had the Tower in exactly the same position. I would say that, tomorrow is the eclipse. I'm shooting this video on the 24th of October. It'll be out on the 25th. You might be watching it after, that's fine. But what I would say is that, eclipses can eclipse things out of our life. So, there could be a Tower moment, or something that no longer serves you being eclipsed out of your life. But, is it a bad thing? I'd say no. Maybe in the moment it seems like a bad thing, but I feel like in the future you're going to see that it's not a bad thing. Let's before I pull the last three cards, let's get more detail on this Tower. You have the Two of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, and the Page of Wands. For some of you, it's a love tower right here. Maybe, but I feel like it's like information. Maybe you're getting information. Again, if you don't want to hear this, I would say block this person. If you have an ex or something like that, you might be getting some information about them that is kind of not great. So, maybe you find out that they cheated or, had a wandering eye. But again, I feel like it sets you off on this new journey as the Page of Wands. So, it's like sometimes I think we can get information that hurts, but maybe it also sets us free. And that's what's I feel could be happening here. We're going to pull 3 yes or no question cards. If you don't have questions, that's fine too. I'm going to put all 3 together at the end as just kind of like a final message. So if you don't have questions, that's fine. But feel free to pause the reading. 1, 2, 3. Pause it now. Pause if you need to think of your questions. For question number 1, you have the Knight of Wands. I would say yes, definitely. I would get moving. For question number 2, I would say yes if you put in the work. I keep forgetting always to call these yes, no, maybe, because tarot doesn't control your life. But the Eight of Pentacles is kind of like putting energy into something and seeing a result, but you have to put the energy in. So I'd say if you do the work. And for question number 3, I would say no with the Page of Swords. But putting this all together, I feel for some of you that you're just putting energy into this new adventure that you're going on here, this new beginning. And it's almost like you're going somewhere in life that is really going to set you apart. Is kind of what I'm getting, which we've talked about the whole entire reading. Pretty simple stuff. It's like you're going on this journey so that you can set yourself apart and be different than be like unique, be a unicorn, right? Like I said. So this is amazing. Definitely could be love coming in for those of you that want it. But thank you for being here, Capricorn. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.